Well, from my knowledge of LEMUR and working with colleagues in my trusted work with LEMUR, it's clear they are they're a leader in the field in terms of actually providing opportunities for young people to learn about nature conservation. So it's an excellent programme, and that's why we're endorsing it.
The most valuable practical skills I've gained through LEMUR, I think firstly has been Phase 1 habitat survey, because that's a really important skill that a lot of employers look for, because it not only gives you sort of a feel for what the habitat is, but also the nitty-gritty, like the plant species that are present and that sort of thing. So that's been really important, and also habitat management skills, because I've had the chance to write a habitat management plan. And I think, again, being able to give landowners advice or to be able to manage a reserve are really important practical skills.
I think the most valuable skills I've gained are being able to talk to an audience, be able to lead groups confidently and talk to them as if you actually know what you're talking about. Being able to also do the behind-the-scenes planning, doing delivering a project and evaluating it afterwards.
I think probably the most valuable skill has been all the botanical training that we've done, because plants are really sort of undervalued, and I think it's one of the skills that employers want and a lot of people don't have when they leave uni.
I've learned some really good species ID skills in terms of plants and butterflies and moths, and I've also done my chainsaw ticket, so that'll be really good for me in terms of going forward and getting a job in conservation.
I think the most valuable practical skills that I've learnt have been when I've been out assisting other ecologists in the field. So learning how to do Phase 1 surveys and also the different types of protected species surveys as well. So for instance, how to carry out badger assessment, how to set up the camera traps and how to go and check them. And other sort of survey skills such as carrying out reptile surveys. So putting out refugia for reptiles, how to check them, and all those different kind of survey techniques.
I think habitat surveying is quite a useful skill that I've learnt, because the habitats are the thing which is important for the wildlife really. If the habitat's not there, the wildlife can't be either. So it's important that people understand habitats and know how to conserve them for the wildlife.
The most valuable skills I've gained since my time on LEMUR is the ability to tailor methods of communication to a wide range of audiences. So from creating educational resources to be used in the classroom, to fun and engaging activities to use with the public outdoors, and then also ways of interacting with more older informal audiences as well.
I would advise anybody looking for a career in conservation to maybe think about the following things. First of all, it can sometimes be tricky. Opportunities may often be difficult to obtain, but keep at it, persevere, maintain your enthusiasm, your dedication and commitment. Always be open for learning new opportunities, new skills, and never give up.
The most important is probably tenacity. It does take time to get in there. You've got to be committed and just keep plugging away at it, and eventually if you persevere, you will get there. But you do have to be active, very proactive in going out and getting those skills that you need, and that can come through a variety of means. It can come through sort of volunteering or training opportunities, but it's most important to be out there getting those skills.
The advice I'd give to someone who wanted a career in nature conservation would be to volunteer as much as possible. Just get involved as many local groups as you can. I moved to Hereford for this placement and I got involved with the Herefordshire Mammal Group, and through them I had fantastic experience and contacts. I even went to the National Dormouse Conference. That's what really will get you ahead of everybody else.
The advice I'd give to someone who is thinking about a career in nature conservation is, I know it's really difficult, but try and find the area that you're really interested in and focus on it and get as much experience as possible.
There's certainly a diminishing number of people with those specialist skills in species identification and habitat identification and management as well. And those are the sorts of skills that only come with experience in the field. It's something you cannot get really through a sort of straightforward academic course.
Well, we're looking for people who particularly are dedicated, enthusiastic, who already have a working knowledge of natural history and nature conservation, but will be able to learn very quickly on the job, and will be keen to learn from many of my colleagues who have skills in many different areas. So they need to be, I'd say, be a fast learner, but able to work very, very quickly as a team player as well.
I suppose the highlight would be what I spent most of my time doing, which was the phase 1 surveying, which is all around the Monmouthshire part of the AOMB, and I just found it very exciting, sort of being out in the countryside. You never quite know what you're going to find. So like, you might find a lovely veteran tree one day or a beautiful wildflower meadow the next.
I think doing the snorkelling instructors course that we did for the Blue Sound project so that we could take members of the public out snorkelling, because this meant that we were giving people a really great experience throughout the summer working with young people in Plymouth, showing them an environment that many of them hadn't seen before, and being able to lead that was amazing.
I think probably for me it was the success of our Rural Hub Open Day, because we spent a few months planning it and it was really successful, and the people that came from the other hubs seemed to really enjoy it, and I think they all went away learning something that they hadn't necessarily learnt in their placements.
I really enjoyed being able to lead school groups, take classroom sessions, deliver environmental activities, come up with the ideas ourselves of how to teach the class, and then seeing them engage, and then being able to take them out onto the shore and teach them how to do a real survey and hopefully complement with their education.
Yeah, I think it's a very important training scheme and very valuable, and I'd say quite a rare opportunity to gain sort of on-the-job experience in nature conservation and in a sort of safe environment as well, rather than, you know, going straight into a job and having to know everything straight away. And also because in university degrees there's a lot of skills which are lacking. Like, they tend not to teach you the species ID skills that you really need to get out there and do the field surveys, which all of that is what LEMUR provides, and I found it very valuable indeed.